How's it going, YouTube? Welcome to the Cosmic Ray channel. I am your host, Cosmic Ray. If you're new to my channel and the things I'm discussing with you today resonates deeply, please feel free to give my video a like, as well as feel free to share a comment, on how you feel with tonight's video. As well as if you don't want to miss anything that provides to you the way YouTube does it, please go ahead and hit that notification bell so you don't miss any content that provide to you. With that being said and out of the way, I just want to talk about a little bit about not necessarily about past lives, but more of something of like a combination of a little bit like a past life slash meets a higher self. What I really wanted to talk about is how, like, what if, in a sense, or could we? I already know my answer, but could this world, or could you have, if you had known that you'd be able to reincarnate in this life, like say in the very past, so your first incarnation in this lifetime, and it happened to be here on Gaia, Mother Earth, and say this was, I don't know, Egyptian times or something. And if you knew you're going to keep reincarnating in this earth, what would you do so that you could remember? They say that when you incarnate first on this planet, that you go through, some just people call it like the stage of forgetfulness or like a veil of forgetfulness. And basically what it does, it's kind of a metaphor in a sense of like where you forget everything, right? And then it helps you to evolve and remember who you were in your past lives and who you remember, or I'm sorry, and just remember who you were beforehand when you incarnated in this world. And it's supposed to be something where it helps, enrich your life and helps you to shine and grow, so you start to remember who you are, in a sense. So you have to forget everything that you went through, because if you remembered every single thing that you went through, in this lifetime, and it may seem just like in a sense unfair for others, or whatnot. So in a sense, you, when you get incarnated again, or reincarnated if you will, you have to go through this veil of forgetfulness, so that in a sense you start all over, so you lose all the negative thoughts that you had from before, all the negative things, so you don't try to hold those grudges. It's like you're starting anew every single time. And the downside is that you forget who you were, or what you were about, and what your purpose was in this life. I feel that like with this lifetime, or I'm sorry, with past lives, if there was a way to not necessarily cheat the system, but something that I have felt myself. Now, certain things I'm going to talk about, it is kind of silly. Like I know when there's certain woo-woo things that's going to come out of my mouth. However, there are certain things that I know that it is silly, and it's going to sound silly. It truly means, these things I'm going to talk about. However, what if there was a way to, I don't want to say cheat the system, but something that you would leave, I would say breadcrumbs for yourself to remember. Not just for spiritual awakening, because when you start having that spiritual awakening and you come to that point, you start to remember a lot of stuff you necessarily, even your current existence right now, the stuff that happened to you in this past, say like 30 years ago or 20 years ago, or something that happened when you were a kid, that you only had like little bits and pieces. You start to remember and connect those together. Like it's crazy. It's awesome. However, not necessarily talking a little bit about that, but more of like leaving breadcrumbs for yourself, so you would remember or have a spiritual awakening, things that would just click. Just to give you like a little example, I mean, it could be something major, it could be something not even major at all. There are certain things that I've been guided to want to discuss and talk about, and I feel it's okay now that certain things happen to me. Okay, so like as a kid, and I'll just say this as a kid, that I was definitely afraid of clowns, and of course, everyone raised their hands there. Of course, I'm afraid of clowns. Everyone's afraid of clowns. Who isn't afraid of clowns, right? No, I'm being serious. Like I was really afraid of clowns. I saw certain things I shouldn't have. As a little kid, and just pieces together kind of thing. It's just one of those like frustrating moments. So I even had like moments where oh man, there's like this casino. It's like in another state over, and I remember a long time ago when I was a kid. In order to get up to the very top where all these like kids would hang out, you have to walk, or you have to go through this like spiral, like ramp. It took forever to finally get to this place. And in the entrance, there was a bunch of clowns because, of course, everyone loves clowns. No, not me. So I was terrified. That's not like, oh, the only reason why I'm terrified of clowns. I mean, I have many different, experiences. I'm just giving you just a little quick thing. So, scared shitless, of clowns. I also had other little things where that happened. So, like, example, ever since I was a kid, probably no joke, maybe 6, maybe, I don't think I was 7. I was definitely young. I would kill spiders, like, all the time. Like, I felt like I was, the hero in my family's life of like, oh, there's a spider, and I always killed it. I didn't really try to trap it or try to save it. I didn't understand all that, right? I just like, oh, crazy spider, everyone's scared. Let me destroy it because I'm a hero. And I don't know, right? Dumb kid. So, I always try to kill spiders. I just, didn't understand, importance of spiders. I know spiders, apparently kill other bugs, and that could mean that, they kill other little dirty bugs that you don't want around. However, in my mind, I see people scared of spiders. I see people, getting terrified and talk bad about them. So, I would just kill them, right? All the time, ever since I was a kid. Like, I don't even know how many spiders. Probably, in like in the definitely in the thousands. Like, I'm talking like 50,000 and above. Like, way too many spiders I've killed. I felt that, like, when I was about to kill a spider, like, they knew they were gonna die. I felt that, like, and I didn't really understand this as a kid. Okay, as an adult, I do now. But, like, and I don't kill spiders. Anyways, and it was one of those things where I felt that they knew from me, like, I was given something else, some like weird, like, "Ooh," kind of vibe thing, that they knew they were gonna die. Like, I knew that they knew they were gonna die. It was crazy. Like, I mean, sorry, like, I knew that they knew, like, I was gonna kill them. So that's what I meant to say. And it was a weird feeling, but I'd always do it. Sometimes I would hesitate, and I'm like, oh, and have to try to, like, catch it and try to kill it again and stuff, right? So afraid, right? For other people being afraid of spiders, I always try to come and save the day. And for some reason, I don't know why, but I also hated, like, skull tattoos or skulls, representation of skulls. I did not like eagles or hawks type of thing. And, when I was younger, I was like Seattle Seahawks kind of thing. But other than that, like, I didn't like hawks, or those kind of birds. I always thought, like, oh, everyone's got a tattoo of an eagle. Oh, all this eagle talk and all this, tattoos of, like, eagles. And don't get me wrong, if you have an eagle tattooed or anything, all good. Like, I'm telling you, I'm talking to you as if, like, when I was a kid. And don't know why. No one said, hey, Ray, these things suck, and whoever had these, suck, or no one said anything. I just, I don't know. Like, I did not like them for whatever reason. I felt that there was just a bunch of other things with ants. Like, I hated ants. I always thought that, like, just, I don't know. I did not like ants. Not that I was afraid of ants, but I would just, it would just annoy the crap out of me to see ants. And I felt like I was running away from, like, a past, like, I did not like any of the stuff, for whatever reason. I have no logical sense of why I did not like these things, right? And I felt that, like, these little things I did not like were specifically so that I would see them all the time, and I would. During my spiritual awakening, I've had odd realizations of things, just what a lot of people wouldn't even think about. Like, one, besides many things, and just like you, these are just names, okay? These are just, I don't know if I say identifiers, but just so that in the spiritual community, you would know what this means, okay? This doesn't mean, like, it's like another label kind of thing, where it doesn't mean, oh, look at me, I am so cool, and this is what I call myself. I'm just saying this just in case if anyone needed to know this. I'm also known as, like, a Hyoka and empath, besides being a shaman or urban shaman, if you will. A lot of Hyokas, were a type of empath. They were known for more what we call, like, the mirror type of empath, more specifically. All empaths do have this. All empaths in general share the communicable, like, sense of different abilities and what empaths just share in general. Okay, it's just, how there's, like, specific type of empaths. I'm talking about, that have a little bit more of the gift of certain things than the other empaths. We all feel energy. We all feel what other people's feeling. We all get that. Okay, I'm talking, like, there's specific ones. So in this case, I've been known as, like, a Hyoka. I'm also like an animal empath, as well as like, like a geo empath. When you're in a room, you kind of just know about certain energies and whatnot. Um, so, anyways, but more Hyoka than anything. And, also part of the Hyoka, you're born breached, born backwards. You kind of do things backwards. I've already, hinted before that when I do my dancing or shamanic dancing, the circle, I always go, I spin, rotate backwards. I do everything backwards. I was born breached, all that kind of stuff. Um, I've done a lot of things ass backwards, really. And we also are known for the mirror effect. This Hyoka is something that's been, if you kind of reach back, in time, if you will, is from Wakinyan and the thunder god, if you will. And they've, always feels like Gaia and Wakinyan was something that, sparked this, inside myself as well as other Hyokas, and to kind of call upon us. And it's a lonely road. It's not like a lot of like the desired road, if you really know what I'm talking about. The reason why I say that is that they're also known as the sacred clown. Okay, and they'd be the ones, in the tribe that would do things backwards to help get other people to understand or different perspective on things. They would throw the twist, at people just to kind of show what the other would feel like or what the other world or other situation would be. And during the ceremonies, they would kind of come in, do something different when everyone's so serious about stuff, and not necessarily clowns and try to make people happy necessarily like that. It was just more of kind of switching things up, if you will, and changing the pace or changing the momentum to something better or something that maybe people are just all on one side, but they don't really have a concept of what's going on over here. Like they have no idea. That's what the Hyoka would do, the sacred clown, right? Now, I always hated clowns, and to realize I am a sacred clown. Why was I so afraid of clowns? What was it? I can be specific about movies and whatnot and other things I should have seen at a young age that would be detrimental to their kids' health and PG ratings and R ratings and whatnot. Um, However, there's a bunch of other myriad of things. Anyways, so that's one, right? To know that now I'm a sacred clown. And why did I do that? Why did I have this stuff? Why did I keep things that I hated? I felt like I was running away from a past that I didn't want to. Why? What was it? And I start to realize or start to remember about other past lives and existences as well. Another thing about, like, say, the skull tattoos or skulls and like eagles and hawks, right? Well, I want to share another video about hawks and eagles, so I'm not going to really get too much into it, so I'll just talk about it then. However, let's just say hawks slash eagles, even skulls are kind of like my totem. I would say my totem animals slash um, different things that I would recognize from higher self or from like the divine. Like it's random, but when it comes to skulls, and it's not like a skeleton body, it's a skull head only, and not necessarily like the um, what's that called? The, like a Texas Longhorn or like the Longhorn, like just the head of the cattle with the horns out. Not even like those, or when people see Death Valley, they always have like that skull-looking animal into that Longhorn in their head. It's not necessarily that really. It's just more. It's specifically with skull faces, heads. And when I see that, it's more. It's kind of random, but it's more like of a divine thing for me. Like, oh, okay, that's the divine want me to know about something. So that's for that. And then hawks, and I have other totem animals, spirit guides, as well, which I'm going to have to talk about. And I have what some people call a spirit group. Now, I've said this in the past videos, so I won't get too much into it, but just in case, a lot of people usually have like just one or two. And then usually when you evolve or change in your journey, you not necessarily lose the other, but you gain more, and the others just kind of just hang around, if you will, because for other knowledge from other animals, from other things, that come about. And I can always get in depth and talk about a little bit more about how other entities turn into animals and whatnot. So it's not necessarily an animal like what you would think a traditional animal would be that speaks to you. But anyways, with that being said, the I've had certain things that happened in my spiritual awakening where I would start seeing spiders and ants like more than usual. I would have a thought about something and not quite sure, and I would see the ant next day, or I would see spiders next day. And don't get me wrong, obviously, weather conditions and whatnot, and wherever you live, of course, you're gonna see a spider, duh, kind of thing, or an ant, But it was very random, and it was very random, and I would have a thought about something specific, and I would see that as my justification. Like I would think of something, and then like literally within like a minute or 30 seconds, I would see an ant or a spider, and I didn't get it. I'm like, oh, what are all these spiders here? Oh, squash. But no, I don't do that anymore. Even with ants, I let them crawl on me. I will take them outside. I have known that they're my spirit guides. When I do my shamanic journeying, usually you kind of go to like a specific place. Sometimes people call it a garden. I have a specific place I go to where like these animals cleanse me, like a big, huge version of them cleanse me. If I have to travel through down, into the lower, people call it the inner and outer realms, upper and lower, even different dimensions, or the higher levels of existence and lower realms of existences. You travel through them or on them, sometimes I transform into them, and help, and go through those lower dimensions or lower worlds of existences in the inner and outer realms, if you will. So I do that too. And when it came to like the whole hawk and eagle thing, man, I don't even know how to explain it. It must have been my Native American side. It's something or something. I start invoking. I start getting into a trance. I start invoking. I start flapping my arms around, and I don't do like caw caw, but more of a respectful way. When I do this, and it's like it helps launch me off. Anyways, I'll go into that more with this next video about that. Anyways, so that's another thing. Why did I hate these tattoos? Why did I hate looking at these things? I felt like I was running away from a past, running away from something, just to help remind myself, to help remember who I was. And I started to think, what if we actually did leave these breadcrumbs? And I know you may have heard me talk about something before about spiritual contracts and whatnot, and say what you like about them. I do feel some of them are in a sense real, and there are certain things that we may have agreed upon, in this lifetime, regards to that. And that's something it's really hard to speak about, especially if you're not ready for this, and it's kind of like the spiritual contracts, in a sense, but I feel it's like little breadcrumbs. What if we actually left breadcrumbs for ourselves? It's hard for us to pay attention. It's hard for us to know. But like I said before, when you let go of that control, let go of the other things in your life, and start allowing other things that you don't normally allow to happen, start opening up your mind, open up your heart, start opening up, your chakras, if you will, and start opening up your life condition. Maybe start meditating. Maybe just start quieting your mind, and not necessarily have to meditate in the traditional sense, but just to kind of quiet your mind. Maybe start to listen to other things that are going on inside you, and other existences. And that's really kind of like all I just wanted to say. I really just wanted to talk about the whole aspect of about leaving the breadcrumbs for us to follow. And I truly believe that we did leave breadcrumbs for us. And I have a feeling that you've done that as well. Please let me know in the comments section if that's something you've done. If you left little breadcrumbs for yourself, something you may feel like you have fears of, maybe and it was just something to just stick in your face, something that's just so blatantly obvious that you probably think, oh no, this is just a fear. Oh no, this is just something that just whatever reason I don't like. No, I can't, secretly like this or secretly be a part of this. But that's the thing though. Just allow for things to come through. Start to feel, start to know. And when you have these, moments, you start to realize, okay, I think I did. Like, I think I did leave breadcrumbs. Then you're like, no, I know I did. I know I left breadcrumbs. I left breadcrumbs for myself. And I feel that, maybe you have done that too. And start to maybe rethink certain things that you're going through in your life. Maybe you have left breadcrumbs too to help you remember. All right, so that's all I wanted to say, my cosmic surfers, my cosmic family out there. Thank you very much for being part of this collective. And I do appreciate you in this existence of life and your oneness and knowingness, to your higher self is well as I am, with you, and knowing that we're all connected somehow. So thank you so much for your time, and you guys all have sweet dreams. Stay well and stay cosmic.